Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next Tech Stories episode. Today it's very unusual episode because we're talking about sports, and of course we have taxation angle in this episode as well. But I'm really happy to present you my today's guest, Kaspars Daugavins. Kaspars is um, Latvian international national team player. He has mm, been playing also in NHL for Ottava Senators, Boston Bruins. Uh, by the way, it's 10 years. This spring is 10 years anniversary since Kaspars played with Boston for Stenley Cup finals. So for that reason, I've even uh, I'm wearing Boston T-shirt to honor that anniversary. And Kaspar's been playing also for several KHL teams in Russia and Latvia. He's currently playing in Swiss National League for Bern. In 26 games, he has got 18 points. He scored also yesterday, and he has 3 goals and 3 assists in the last 3 games. So really in top of his form right now. Um, Hi, Kaspers. Welcome to the show. And how are you today?
Good, good. Hi, everyone.
Um, I know you are also not only ice hockey player, but also a good golf player. So let's start with golf, of course. So
Well,
what's
I don't
big?
know. I don't know if you call it a good golf player. I'm. It's my hobby, so I still think golf is the best sport probably out there. At least it's least injurable sport for me. So
Yeah.
I love
So
to enjoy it.
why are you playing ice hockey then, not golf?
Well, ice hockey right now is my primary job. So and obviously I loved it since I was a little kid, and I think ice hockey is the best game, like the team game. But
Mm.
golf is my hobby and say relaxation after a hard season, and just enjoy like a good weather and little activity outside, outdoors, and it just makes me happy.
Right. And what has been your best golf experience so far?
Uh, well, I have played a lot of golf around the world, which obviously like I started in the United States. I was laughing watching it at TV, and like I always said, tennis and golf looks so easy on TV, and then you try them, and it's the hardest thing ever. And but all the boys in the team were playing golf every spring, like or before the season, like in a training camp, and they were always like, "Hey, come play," and I was like, "No way, I'm not playing that sport." Like, and but then they told like there's a you can have some beers out there with us. So I was just driving the cart first time, like without even swinging a club, having a couple of beers with the boys, and but after that, like I took one swing, and I think right after the first round, like taking one swing, I went to the Dick's Sporting Goods and and bought my own set, and I was there. I just fell in love with the game.
Right, right. By the way, I have a question regarding sort of comparison between golf and ice hockey. Why do you think ice hockey players, including yourself, are so long hitters in golf? Uh, is it to do with the technique of a hockey shot?
Well, like I was told, actually, I went. It was in Binghamton, New York. Like when I played in American League, like we went, and a golf pro told me like you'll never teach a hockey player to play golf because our swing is completely not golf swing. It's like just the power and no nice swing. So like I don't think hockey players have the best swing in golf, but yeah, we might have a power because we work out a lot and everything. But it's completely different movement. In hockey, you like swing down hard and shoot completely different. You don't use your hips, you use your like upper body, and golf is completely like different. So like for me, I struggle. Like one day I'm good in golf, and then next day I'm completely bad.
Hmm. That's like Bobby Jones said, golf is the closest game to the game we call life, and you get bad breaks from good shots, you get good breaks from bad shots, but you have to play the ball where it lies. So
Exactly.
it's uh, but how do you practice golf? I've never seen you practicing golf. Do you normally learn from YouTube channels or golf magazine?
I literally I don't practice in golf. I just go like I try to take a couple swings before the round, like in a driving range, and just figure it out on my own. Like obviously I seen like a bunch of YouTube videos, but like to be good at it, like you have to actually do them like consistently. But I don't have time for it. Like I only get like last summer maybe 12 rounds a summer because like the off season is so short, but yeah, I just enjoy it. Like the golf is just for me like it's a challenge with myself. Like you said, like there's a good shot and a bad break, like, and you just
Mm,
have to accept it. And for me it's like your mental training. Like how can you handle being in bad situations and still get a good result.
right. And besides golf, do you have any other hobbies, especially in the winter time now, like now?
Well, actually, here in Switzerland, first time I went in Christmas break, we had like a couple days off. We went to Grindelwald with the family, like just to enjoy Christmas. And my mom flew down, so it was my first time ever skiing in Alps. So
Hmm.
that was really really cool. And I snowboarded back home in Latvia, like, but like this was like brand new experience for me, and I fell in love with it. Like obviously it's a cool hobby, but like I always said hockey players are just it might sound a little cocky kind of like we're pretty good athletes. We like to do a lot of sports, like because since we were little kids in a training camp we had to do like soccer, basketball, and floorball, like everything. Like, and I just enjoy sports overall. Like
Hmm.
golf probably is the only like individual sport that I really enjoy. Usually, like I like team games because it's a challenge. It's like a bonding with your friends. Like I play last summer. I didn't do it, but usually we play 2 times a week soccer with like a bunch of friends, and I really enjoy it. Like obviously I'm getting older, so like there's more risk of injuries. So like you have to be really smart about it, but as long as it's like a fun and hobby wise, like it's fun.
Right. And I saw you have a swimming pool back at home in Latvia. Is it worth having a swimming pool there? Because summers are so short. How often do you use it?
Well, when I bought a house, we didn't have a swimming pool there, and we had a river right by like the house, like so I would go swim in the river. Since I was a little kid, I would spend a lot of time on the lakes, and obviously, like we have like great Baltic Sea, like that we can swim. Obviously, it's cold, but I don't mind cold water. I actually enjoy colder water than hot water, and but yeah, like I told my wife, it's probably the best investment I ever did in my life is building a swimming pool, and kids enjoy it now. Like I enjoy it. Like I wake up in the morning in summer day, like first thing I do is like I go outside and take a little dive in a pool, and just refreshes me. Like when you go out at 6:30 in the morning, jump in the pool, like you just have a whole different feeling like to start the day.
Cool, cool. And do you like reading books?
Actually, I don't. It as weird it sounds, like I would love to enjoy reading books, but I can't. Like I can't focus. Like when I read like 3 4 pages, like my mind is somewhere else, and I keep forget. Like I don't focus on like reading, like, you know, I'd rather like listen or watch something. Like I watch a lot of documentaries, like, and I like remember and everything, but like when I read, I just like start losing it. Then I can't focus on it. My eyes are reading it, like my mind is like the body is reading it, but my mind is somewhere else. So like I'm not a big reader.
Right. And from those documentaries, anything that still pops in your head, like do you remember as something that
Well, I enjoy
almost
a lot about history and stuff. Like, so like all the Roman Empire, like, and all that stuff. Like my favorite movie is like Gladiator. So I like after I watched the movie, I always wanted to like see how real was the movie. So I watched a bunch of stuff about Rome and everything. Like uh obviously all the world wars that happened. Like it's pretty interesting. Like you only hear one thing in news and like how media is giving it to, and then you have facts. Like one of my favorite channels is like Discovery. Like you have a bunch of interesting shows there, and not only about like history, but like I like Mythbusters. Like it's kind of cool. Like you watch like people try different things, like break the impossible rules, and like it's awesome. Like I enjoyed it when I was in school. Like history was one of my favorite. Like so I kind of like stuff like even movies. I don't watch like any movie that like can't happen in real life. Like I don't like sci-fi and anything. Like I like true story movies or based on true story. Like it's kind of cool.
right? And I've tried a couple of history podcasts. They're really good to understand what's happening right now when you sort of understand the history.
Well, we just have so much stuff to read about and like see like where it's more interesting. Like back in the day, maybe you had one newspaper to read off. Like now you have so much assets like
Right.
internet and movies and TV shows. Like so, it's more options.
Cool. Yeah. And of course, everybody in Latvia knows that you have a nice family, two kids. Being busy and not available to the family is kind of new, stupid, inefficient. Earlier, it was a sign of being important. I personally really struggle with this. Do you also struggle of dedicating time to the family and how do you overcome this?
Well, like for me, it's obviously my life and my family life is kind of under like hockey control. Like, so I'm a professional hockey player and we travel around the world because since I was like 15 years old, I really haven't played in Latvia. So, like, I'm everywhere. And now I have a wife and two kids, and they always try to travel with me. We like spend time together. And last year was like probably my toughest season of all because they couldn't get visas because of Corona to Russia. So I was
Mm,
spending all the season by myself, and they were home. And yeah, it's like tough. Like I haven't, like my second daughter was born. I was in hospital in Russia, like after a big injury, and my wife was giving birth, so I couldn't even be there. Like, and it's it's tougher for my wife obviously than me because like when you like have two young kids and your husband can't be home and help, like it's I have like hats down to my wife, like keeping up with me. And but this story will end probably pretty quick, like, you know, and then like you can be enjoying like full-time dad and spend more time. And but it's awesome in Switzerland here. Like we don't have any road trips where you stay overnight, so like every day we're home. And my daughter enjoys the school here. Like she goes to international school, and they have like a ski program, swim program. Like so, she really enjoys it, and it's awesome to spend time with them. Like every Sunday we have off. Like so, we try to travel around Switzerland, see nice places together, and it's just part of our hockey life and like athlete's life. Let's say that.
yeah. And your kids will be true citizens of the world, because they probably will get used to traveling with you to all the different countries.
Oh, for sure. Like it's I still think it's like a great experience for young kids. Like they learn languages. Like my daughter speaks three languages. She went to international school, like daycare in Moscow too, and they had Russian and English, and so she speaks perfect English and Russian. Like, and obviously Latvian is our main language, but it's just good for kids. Like they get to enjoy, and now like my oldest daughter, like age of 6, like she will remember this for sure. Like the youngest one maybe will like she's just enjoying it like as a
Mm.
2.5 year old, but like the oldest one will have great experience like of life like as a young kid.
I have three kids at home as well, and they all play golf. By the way, any hints of how to become a top athlete like you have become?
Well, I'm probably not gonna sound really original. Like, obviously, a lot of practice and hard work is like the key to anything. Like, not only in sports, like, to succeed in any like life part, like work or marriage or whatever. Like, you have to be like dedicating your whole thing like to whatever you do, and obviously, like, there is some kind of like talent percentage, like, but you need to know how to use your talent. Like, so it's like repeating, and that's how you succeed in anything.
But I don't know about you, but I've personally I'm struggling with suggestion to my kids to maybe consider even professional athlete career, because it seems unfair that in Latvia, just to make some business you need to compete locally, but you are basically competing against the best of the best in the world, so the competition is much more fierce.
Yeah, but like it's like I said, like if I had two boys, I would never like force them to be hockey players. Like you are in different business. You know how tough it is. Like you want your kids to have fun. Like, and for me, like my goal is just for kids to enjoy whatever they do, and it's not about like I enjoyed it. I loved hockey since I was like 5 year old, like seeing on TV, and I wanted to become one. Like maybe they will have different mind, and like they'll like my daughter, maybe she wants to be a hairdresser. Like, and I'll for
Mhm.
me, the main goal is like to like just support her whatever she wants to do, and like obviously you're gonna guide like some small tips and as a parent, but like you just need to for them to have fun, and that's the main goal. Like there is no right or wrong. Like for me, like hockey is probably the toughest job that I can imagine because I went through the hell like with all the training camps, losing all the friend time in summers. Like every kid was off to school and I had to go away to training camps. Like, and right now, like I said, like probably the first thing I'm gonna enjoy after my career is spend one full year at home. Like enjoy winter time, like where you have days off, like to go shovel the snow. Like because I've never been home. Like Christmas time, like every Christmas, like family was getting together. Like I had to go to hockey tournaments because it's like the only time to. So it's tough, but at the same time, like many athletes say, like you get paid a lot of money for doing what you love, and for me, that's probably the drive of succeeding in hockey and stay in hockey, and because this journey will end soon, and you're gonna have to start your life completely from zero. Like, and a lot of athletes struggle with that after careers because they don't know what to do, and they knew the hockey life, but the real life is way tougher.
Right. Uh, Speaking of movies, have you seen Ted Lasso series?
No, I lately like all the new shows I'm kind of behind. Like last year I was into every. TV show and everything because I was by myself. Now, like after practice, like I'm home. I have two young kids that like I want to spend time with them, and my computer sometimes looks like has dust on it. So like,
Mm.
not much time to watch it. Like I had one show this year that I finished, and that's it.
Which one was that?
Money Heist. I
Ah,
waited. Yeah, like there was like 5 episodes that came out in December, and I think I finished them in one day.
right. But about this Ted Lasso, I really recommend. It's one of the best series I've ever seen. It's seemingly about sports. That a coach from an American football comes over to the UK to coach an English football team.
Yeah,
And actually, the series is more about relations in life. It's quite kind of light and fun. But I always thought that leading a team in a business in many ways is leading a team in sports. And Well,
for
being
sure.
a
It's
yeah, you were a Latvian national team captain. Do you see some principles of team building and leadership that that really work both in sport and business?
well, like for sure, like bonding between the guys that you work with like is a key. Like if everyone is happy and close, and like in team sports, like you always need a guy to have your back. Like if you make a mistake, like, and you know and trust your partner that he'll help you and you'll do the same for him, like that leads to way better results. And like when you have like problems inside your team, like everyone's heard like that, like if there's a problem inside a team, there's a problem on ice in your game. Like if you're close and you're like best friends, and even not only athletes, like even families, like in sports life, like it's really key. Like we're like 20 guys from different cities, different countries, and like we want to get close. Like we're like a big family. Like even wives, they want to hang out together. Like kids, they play together, and then the results always come better.
Mhm. Yeah, and another sort of tip for both business and sports that comes to my mind is training that I attended in INSEAD in France. I was fascinated by presentation of former coach of Belgium national field hockey team, Alan Godsmet. You can look up in YouTube. He has some really good videos there, and he applies the same principles he used in coaching a team to leading any businesses. He's like now, coaching now big brands in Germany, and for example, he said that professional needs to be aware of his or her talent and develop it. In your practices, do you try to develop your strength or your weaknesses?
Well, I had my strength coach that I train in the summers. He went to this whatever seminar about like strength coaches, and he asked me a question like percentage wise, how much you work on your strengths and how much you work on your weaknesses. And like I thought like it was like 50-50. Like that was my kind of answer because like you're good at something, so you have to develop it. Like, but like your weaknesses have to become your strengths too. And he said like that like whatever the science underneath is like 70% like you need to work on your strength because that's where like you are the best, and you have to just get more consistent on it, and
Mm,
30% effort like you put in like your weaknesses to get like few percent up, like. And that was kind of like really smart answer, like because that's how I feel. Like I trained before I knew this, and yeah, like it works for me, but everybody is different. Like somebody needs to work on some stuff if it's really bad, like, so there's no right way. Like you just
mm,
need to trust your instincts, and like some trainers and smart people around you, like you need to find your own way, like.
Yeah, and with this developing strength, I understand professional sportsmen are also differentiating themselves from the crowd, and I remember him saying that if you are a football player that really can dribble the ball with the left foot, then just try to develop this, and everybody will remember that if I need somebody like this, then I will remember that there was in this team this guy.
For sure. It's like there's like as long as you get better, like everybody will remember you. Like and you have a dedication like to do something better. Like that's the greatest asset. Like so it means like you care. And
And
like for coaches, it's a number one thing. They see like that you keep trying and working, and they will like trust that you are like teachable and workable guy. Like
And I think everybody or many remember your trick of penalty shootout of putting top of the ice hockey stick on the puck and making a goal with a really fancy move. How did you come to this move?
well, it was more like kind of joking around in practice, but then like you see like any goalie that came up like to our team and he didn't know what I'm gonna do, like it worked against him. So the guys are like, you have to try this in a game. Like the other goalie has no idea what you're gonna do, and it worked in practice. So I tried in a game. It worked first time. Like second time, it didn't work. Like it was kind of my mistake a little bit, but yeah, like I said, sometimes it's like if you don't know what you're gonna do in a shootout, how is the goalie gonna know? And you can surprise yourself and a goalie. So it was a good thing. Like I enjoyed it and it was awesome.
Right. And the same Alan Goldsmith also said that top performers work on to be at the top of three dimensions: skills, of course, and second, attitude. He mentioned that some those, especially in team sports, those players need to be real team members. And if he said if you look in football that you know the some of the football players after scoring goal they show with thumbs on their shirt of at the back where the name of the player is, then he's like individualist and he's not a real team player. So the
Uh, yeah, like I like maybe I disagree. Like players, like the emotions are so high in like pro sports that like you don't even think about it. Something comes out and it doesn't mean you're individualist. Like I had one coach who said like the last name on your jersey, it's not only your last name, it's your whole family like that you need to make proud. Like and it was a great like advice, like because I don't do it just to make myself happy. I'm a professional athlete. Like I try to make my country proud, my family proud, and emotions they come out sometimes. Yeah, like
yeah, of course, it's difficult to control in such moments. Uh, and the third he mentioned pillar was motivation. And what is your motivation still to be on the top of your game after many years in the business?
well, it's just once you get older, like you understand that like your professional career will come to end, like and if you don't put the work and time and as you get older, like there's more recovery needed and you have to get smarter. Like when you had like 22 years old, you had three beers, like next day you felt completely fine. If you have it like three beers when you're 33-year old, like you can feel it next day in practice. So like you get smarter about your diet, like your sleep and rest time. And for me, like it's just to stay in the business for as long as I can, and because I enjoy this life. Like I enjoy hockey. I enjoy being like part of like a team that wins, and motivation. Obviously, like as an athlete, is always to win. Like for me, Like I play in Switzerland now. I won a Swiss championship. Like when I play for national team, I want to win world championship. Like if I don't put like big goals, like and just go out there, like I can go pay 10 euros an hour like to skate an amateur team and have fun. Like but as a professional player, you always have like goals of winning something big because all the money you make and all that might disappear, but winning championships, you have like the best memories like for rest of your life. And I won one big championship in American League, and it's still like probably the best time I had in my life. Like it was so hard. Like we were like the biggest underdogs, and we went all the way, and we won it. And that's probably my proudest moment of my career. Like
Indeed. And of course, like Nelson Mandela said, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Uh, do you have routine for doing some analysis after games, maybe irrespective of the team result, whether you lost or won a game?
well, for sure, it's after every single game, like they said, like there is no perfect game. You're gonna make like at least hockey is a game of mistakes. And how do you like come better? Like if you had a bad game, you need to step it up next game. And obviously in my head, like sometimes I can't fall asleep because I go through every moment, like even good ones. I try to remember good stuff, like, oh, this worked for me, like, so I have to do it more. And then like you had a bad moments in a game, like where obviously you realize that, oh, I should have just played a little more simple, it would have been way better. And that's how it is, like a lot of videos. And it's a learning point for athletes, like.
Mhm. Yeah, we're now more and more applying these similar principles in our team, tax team, in our office. So it really gives huge benefits afterwards. Yeah, I
Well, yeah,
fully
video,
agree.
like from the games like you played, even like coaches, like there's a lot of coaches that show a lot of video, like because when you see it on like tape, like obviously like there's a saying like all the fans are the best coaches. Like when you watch it on TV, it's super easy. Even for me, like when I don't play, I'm in the stands, the game seems so easy because you see it everything from the top. And that's why we watch the video to see like the timing and like where your other guys, because
Mm.
with your eyes on ice, like the game is so fast where you don't even see your partner sometimes. But like when you see it on video, like and you start trusting, oh, he's gonna be there. Like sometimes it's like a blind pass, or but like you trust your teammate because we watched it together and we decided like this is gonna be the play, and it works a lot of times.
Yeah, and it's just a confirmation of what many business coaches say, that actually you can be outstanding from the competition if you are collaborating more. So it's really a team effort, and more you do, the better results. But if we switch to tax a little bit, um, professional sports is rough in a sense that quite often players change clubs and even countries. You have played in many countries. Uh, would you compare the tax payment culture you've seen in the countries you played? Canada, US, Russia, Latvia, now Switzerland?
Well, Russia is probably the only country that's really different, like because the tax percentage is so low compared to states. And Canada was like I was in Ottawa, so like the taxes were like 51%, like or Ontario, like. But I can't talk really much about taxes because like for professional athletes, like the one big thing is your agent that gets you a job in NHL, and he's in charge of you. Like that's in the contract that he helps out. Like my agent had a like tax company in Canada, tax company in States, and they deal with this. Like all I had to do is pretty
Mm.
much like collect all the papers or whatever like would help me to pay less taxes, because there's like a bunch of ways, and especially in the United States you can like get tax deductible like with gas money and money you spend for your job. And but yeah, like literally like once a year like we would meet up and he would explain everything. But he had a company that he trusted, and I trusted my agent. Like they would do all the taxing, and I never had any trouble with that country. And because like if you do it on your own, like you have to be super smart in States, because NHL is like a really weird league because it's part of two countries, but
Mm.
there's so many states, and like United States obviously, and your games are in different states. Like it can be like one day you're in New York State, so you pay taxes that day in New York State. Your next game is in Florida, so it's different. So like you need to have somebody like that keeps control, like which day and what you do for taxes. And obviously, as an athlete, like my main focus is on playing hockey, not doing all the paperwork in office. And that was the great help. And but in Europe, like it's a little bit more different, because as an import here in Switzerland, the club is in charge of every tax payment. Like so I get like when I sign a contract, I get a net salary in my contract. So it means like the team will pay all the taxes for me, and
Mm.
they have to give me all the papers, so there's no any trouble. Like and yeah, like so they're in charge like of
Right.
everything. And obviously, like I bring all my money back home to Latvia, and I have to always like show all the papers, and I bring them back home with me, and give it to Latvian government to show that like where's the money coming from. And like obviously I have like a girl helping me out in Latvia. She's involved with taxes, like so she files everything for me. Like we always have a big chat. Like she asked me all the questions, and I like and then we figure it out, and we do the whatever taxation in Latvia, and I'm good to go. Like and I never had any trouble, like or obviously it's a law, so like you have to be really smart. Like there's a lot of athletes that don't know stuff, and like there's obviously a bad agents that try to use
Mhm.
athletes. But once you run in trouble first time, then you'll pay more attention. But yeah, Russia was like the only hard part, like because Latvia and Russia had a deal where like if you pay taxes in Russia, you just have to show your tax papers in Latvia and you're fine. But like to get those papers in Russia, there was so much work. Like I had to go to many instances, like to get the papers, and they say like, oh, tell the Latvian government to call us, we'll give them straight. Latvia tells me like, oh, we don't talk to Russia, because like European Union and Russia now are like not the best friends. And so like I was like, no, but like I need this paper. And they're like, oh, okay. Like they give me paper, I bring it back home, and they're like, oh, like you didn't have this one stamp. And a lot of people don't realize that it's not that easy to get in Russia. Like my contracts ends like usually in case contracts end April 30th. And whatever, I'm like in middle of May, the tax papers are, they're like, oh, you need to go get a stamp like from this government like of Russia. And I'm like, but I can't get in there, I don't have visa. And there was bunch of stories about that. Like so, but like yeah, it's not rocket science. Like you just have to do it. Like I know it's sometimes like pain in the ass to get all these papers done, but once you do it, like you're free to go.
Right. But it's strange what you are saying that you are filing tax returns in Latvia because well, I would say that if you're living most of your year in Switzerland, you should become a Swiss tax resident and file your returns there.
Yeah, well, like when I played in States when I was like younger, like because I spent more than 180 days a year in outside of Latvia, I remember I was a resident of Canada, like so
Mm.
like Latvian government wouldn't do anything to me. They wouldn't even ask me for any papers, and obviously the tax percentage is way higher than Latvia, and they wouldn't even care. But then I don't think I playing in KHL. I don't think I spent more than 180 days like a year in Russia. Like it was
Okay.
really close, but like we had road trips where you go for 3 days back to Latvia. So like I could have filed, but there was no need. Like it was easier for me just to get the papers and like show them, and like I have nothing to like hide, and like there was it's not that complicated, like. But yeah, like I know there's a ways like of residency and stuff, but like I want to be a resident of Latvia. It's my country, and it's cool with me, so.
Right. Right. When I was learning about anything specific regarding taxation for ice hockey players, I was sort of surprised to see this so-called jock tax in America. Yeah, and it's exactly what you said, that they are calculating days you are spending for pre-game practice and for the game, and then they are applying this to separate states, and you have to file tax returns in every state. So it's a really complex system.
Oh, for sure. If you didn't go to like university about taxes, like there's no way especially like how I'm coming from a different country. In my first years, my English wasn't that good, and like like IRS, like what is that? Like I didn't know like what those letters even mean, and like then my agent told me is like don't worry about it. Like I have a big company that I work with. Like we're gonna take care of everything. Like there's obviously a little bit of trust in somebody will do it or not. Like but yeah, like by myself, I would screw up something for sure. Like there's no way I would count the days, and it's just way too much. Like your hobby would become a work. Like you would have to be like 10 hours a day thinking like about papers. Like the maximum I had to do is like my agent would tell me like collect all the gas receipts, like all the sports equipment you buy for hockey. Like we can like tax deductible, and like those were the only things. Like he would give me tips and that, but like yeah, he made my life easy, like.
And it's interesting about what you said about these deductions, and I know after uh, Trump uh, started his tax bill package, that deductions were less possible in hockey, but do normally the ice hockey players are regarded employees, but from what you're saying, that sounds like a business. Did you have to, I don't know, register a company there, or
No,
how
I
did?
didn't have to register any company. Like it was a New York State where I played my American League years, and the the thing was like you were not making much money. Like I think I was making $62,500 a year, and you have to think like New York State is pretty high on taxes. It was like uh close to 40%, plus you had like all these like state and like whatever taxes, like so half of your paycheck was like paid to government.
Mm,
So like you had only like let's say a season $30,000, but you have to pay like your rent from that, like gas, and you're a young guy. Like obviously I didn't have a family, so it was all like money spent on me. Like we were like three guys like renting a house together, like so it's cheaper. So like any tax deductible that we could have got, like obviously it was your money in your pocket, and it was different rules. Like if you were married, if you had kids, like there's so much things that like as an athlete I have no idea about, like
okay.
and that's why it was really really good. Like if you have a good agent, good tax company that helps you, like because like $1,000 a year, like that was huge money in American League. Like you could have had like you lived like a king in Binghamton, New York, with $1,000, and yeah, obviously we all try to use that. Like there is always like a smart points that you can use in any
Mm.
like law, and like if you had people to help you, like I was happy about it.
Right. So it's probably just a deduction in your tax return. But speaking about amounts, do you remember how much Uncle Sam took? I remember I read from Wikipedia that said that 10 years ago, when you had the contract with Senators, you had around $630,000 contract. How much of that was in taxes?
Oh, it was Canada was crazy. Like if you like, I think Ontario was like 51% like tax rate. Plus, we
Jeez.
had 5% goes to your agent. Like that's like in sports, most players pay 5% to their agents. And then we had escrow. It's the league, like NHL had the escrow. Every player paid 16% into the league's fund. Like
Mm.
obviously, like depends on the year and the season. It's like we got it. I was lucky. I got most of it back. But like there's a years where like if like a big market teams don't make playoffs, the league doesn't make as much money, so like players lose money. So if
Mm.
you think like if you make $1 million by end of season, you only have some guys were making only 300,000 like net, like
Wow.
because you had all these like obviously Canada taxes are high, and it's I was like people don't think about it, like you get less money, but like you were covered. Like you have a big pensions after, like, and that was probably the big plus. But yeah, like when you get the paycheck, it's like, oh, why it's so less than you
Right.
think. And but yeah, like it's normal. But obviously, Canada, like if you're Canadian, like the government takes care of you as a person, and like you everything healthcare is free, and all these insurances were involved, and so like it was money just to spend. Like you didn't have to spend that after like on dentist or anything. Like
Mm. Right. Right. Still a lot of money, but when you are concluding contract with a team, do you compare after tax amounts when taking decision for which team you want to play? Because, for example, in Latvia, there is a special law saying that professional sportsmen pay only um, social security contributions up to 860 euros per month, and then the rest is without any payment of social security. I know Italy has a rule that 50% of income only is taxable for professional sportsmen. Do you consider this all upfront, or uh, just so after you get the first paycheck?
well, the only year I had to like kind of think, it was like I had 2 years in NHL. I came to Switzerland, had a really good season, and then I got offer from NHL to go back. Similar offer, what like contract where I had in Ottawa. But then I got a call from Russia offering me like a contract for 2 years, and it was like I don't want to lie now. It was like I think NHL offered me 600,000 like one way contract, which I would pay like more than half, like almost 60% like in taxes. And then I got offered like for 1.2 million in Russia, where like I was like, oh, you only pay 13% in taxes. So it's like so by the end of the day, I was making like four times more money, and NHL would be such a grind. Obviously, it was my dream to play there forever, but like I was in position where I don't play much. I was like a kind of role player in the team, and I was like, oh, I have fun in Europe, like, and I make four times more money. So like eventually. in your career, you still have to make money because first of all, it's your job. Like I have to support my family. Like I wanted to like buy a house back home and everything. Like the money is still one thing that you need to make because I don't know how much years I have ahead of me. And but like NHL was easy. It was my dream to play there, and I didn't care. I never thought about like where I'm gonna play. Like if you play there for 20 years, I know players sign contracts like in Florida, like because it's way you make way more money. Like if you play in Florida or you play in Los Angeles, like so there is like New York State, Los Angeles and stuff, but or you go to Dallas or Dallas, Texas, or you go in Florida and you make more money for sure. Like there is, but those are like usually star players that can pick any team pretty much. Like young guys, they don't care. They just want to be in a league and show what they can do.
Mm. And the other types of income, like image rights, royalties, advertising income, sponsorship income, have have you received those, or have you seen how those are taxed?
To be honest, no. Like I know there's not much. Hockey is not like a big about like advertising. Like there's no really sponsorship like deals. Like maybe few guys have it in NHL, like where like big hockey equipment companies will pay you like to wear their stuff. But like those are few guys. Like those are like
Mm.
mega superstars and guys like us like we didn't have that, so we didn't have to deal with that. You got your salary from hockey, and that was it, pretty much.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, and at least publicly, this was quite visible in football, where those tax scandals of big names among
Oh, for
football
sure.
players.
Soccer, yeah, soccer is football, soccer, and baseball. They make more money, like basketball too. Like outside of basketball now, like guys are getting paid like hundreds of millions of dollars, like for wearing Nike or golf. Same thing. Like not many golfers make out of like the price lists like of the tournament. They make more money in sponsorships.
Mm. And yeah, those football players having offshore companies for the charging their image rights. So this was all big news in the media. Um, as our podcast is called Tech Stories, I'm not sure if you have a story for me, but maybe while you are thinking, I will tell you a story regarding those sponsorship income. I have an example on how complex this may get. A few years ago, this professional golfer, Sergio Garcia. He's a Spanish citizen and resident of Switzerland, and he was involved in a dispute with the US IRS over whether he owed US taxes on sponsorship income or not. And he had a nice deal with TaylorMade that allowed company to use the image, name, and voice of Garcia. And as a part of the agreement, Garcia also delivered personal services by using TaylorMade's equipment in tournaments and appearing in advertisements and making personal appearances. And the agreement said that TaylorMade was claiming that 80%, 85% of Garcia's money was for royalties for using this image, name, and voice, and 15% was for personal services. And the dispute was eventually ended up in the U.S. court, and he allocated 65% of royalties to um, which was not taxable in US because of the tax treaties, and 35% of to allocated to personal services, which were subject to US taxes. So you can see how complex these things can get, not only with the image rights in different ways. So it's a it's a it's a really tough world, so to say.
Oh, for sure. Like, and I bet like a guy like him, he had like a team behind him, like the agents and managers that dealt with it. I bet Sergio didn't even know what he just signed like a contract probably with TaylorMade saying like, oh, we're gonna pay you $10 million for using our golf clubs, and then obviously he's happy about it. He says, "Yes, I will use TaylorMade." And then like the agents talk out all the details of the contract. And a lot of times athletes, that's what I'm saying, like they don't even know stuff behind
Mhm.
like these contracts because I'm not smart. Like otherwise I need to hire a lawyer, I need to hire a doctor, like so I don't get screwed over. Like, and that's why you trust your agent that he knows what he's into it. And like there is a lot of stories where athletes get screwed over by your own agent, like where they use them. But most of the times, it's like the agent makes more money if you make more money. Like so they're pretty good.
Right. And I cannot even imagine what happens next if you think of the story I just told. That imagine Sergio just instead of considering that 15% of the amount will be taxable in US, suddenly discovers that it's actually 35. So 20% of the whole bunch of income is suddenly taxed in US, probably not with small taxes,
Mhm.
and who covers this difference. So it's suddenly an unexpected paycheck as well.
Yeah, well, like when you make a lot of money, like I said in sports, like all these advertisement deals are like a bonus to your career. Like you're not happy when you got told like you're gonna make 10 million and all of a sudden you make eight. Like, but same time, like those top athletes, they make a lot of money, so like it can't be that bad, you know. Like it's your bonus just got a little bit smaller, but like you're still happy to have it.
Right. And another type of income is prize money. That, for example, if in a couple of weeks you are playing in Beijing Olympic Games, and let's imagine Latvia gets a medal, and you're receiving some nice prize money. How to tax this? I can imagine that normally, if you are a Swiss tax resident, or if you are Latvian tax resident, we would look at the tax treaty. But then there are exceptions that International Olympic Committee usually requests that host country grants exemption for such prizes. So it can get really messy. So
Yeah, like I agree, like, but that's more for tax people. For athletes, like it's pretty easy for us. Like we are involved with Latvian Hockey Federation, so like we are under them. Like if we have really good results, like they might give us like a some nice bonus or whatever for like a
mm,
high place, but then the Hockey Federation would pay all the taxes for us. So we get like whatever we get net, or like I know like Olympic athletes of Latvia, they get like paid by government like a bonus for gold medals. But I like if government pays you a bonus, obviously they have to take care of taxes. Like you should get like net, like, and that kind of seems normal to me.
right. And you have quite many times, I guess, mentioned that you don't know how much you will stay as professional athlete. Uh, any regarding investments and social securities and loans? Uh, Also, does taxation impact those decisions? How to invest your money, or you're purely looking at some other decision-making factors?
Well, investments, like the main goal in investments is to make as much money as you can, right? Like, and after that, like you have to deal in which country you are doing the investments. Like, I think in Latvia it's like 20% from all the money you make in your investments. You have to tax, like it's taxed. I'm not sure. I have a person doing it for me, and but like as long as your investments are going up, that's a good thing. Like paying taxes, it's a law, so like you don't want to mess with that, but you're still gonna be up. Like if your investments go up, like even when you pay off the taxes, you still made some money, and it's better to pay taxes. Like I'll be happy to pay taxes because it means like I'm making money. Like if you don't have anything to pay for, that's bad. Like you're losing all your investments, and like that's pretty much like the main goal for me.
Right, especially in these times when inflation is going up and could eat up your all profits of the
Yeah, it's just
investments.
like the money needs to make money instead of just sitting on your account and you stare at the numbers and like it will stay the same. Like if you can make extra dollar or euro, like that's good for my family.
Right. Kaspars, I really appreciate time we've spent together, and I enjoyed the conversation. As you probably know, in all my podcasts, I end up with one last question about your version of meaning of life. What would be your answer?
Like if I had to put like meaning of life is just to enjoy, like joy. I think like that for me is like no matter what you do, like you have to have fun from it. And if you don't have fun from what you do, like you're gonna be miserable. And that's why I've always put myself like I play hockey. I want to have fun from it, not just to make money, not just to same as golf. Like I want to go out there. Even I have a bad round. I think like any golfer will say the same. Like you still come back next day, like because you enjoyed it. Like and yeah, like to be joyful, like from what you do.
I certainly felt that during our conversation. I also enjoyed this 1 hour with you, and thanks for your time. And hope to see you soon in person on the golf course.
Soon, soon. Winter is coming to end soon.